fool us. I'm not trying to misdirect you. I'm actually trying to direct your attention to this next act.
I call myself a hyper extrovert. I love to be around people. In fact, my favorite thing about mentalism is that I get to learn about a stranger's life. I have pretty bad ADD, and as a kid, every minute of the day was information overload. I think the most frustrating part was not understanding how my own brain worked. The only time I don't feel my ADD is when I'm performing. I have a lot of nervous energy, but I pour all of it into my performances. It's like I'm trying to pull off this heist, and the audience is constantly trying to catch me, so I have to stay vigilant. So much could go wrong, so I'm running variables in my head. I know I have a 0 margin of error. You can't half fool somebody. It's all or nothing. Hopefully, I can focus all of my energy into fooling Penn and Teller 100%.
Give it up for the mental magic of Jason Suran.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Before we begin, I just want to take a moment to say that of all the experiences in my career, being on this show has truly been by far the most stressful. It's an honor. Obviously, it's an honor. It's just that nobody talks about what goes into this, you know? The sleepless nights, the endless rehearsals, the rewrites, the run-throughs, the rules you have to follow. Because the producers told me I can do anything I want on this stage. As long as it's funny, new, inventive, deceptive, camera-friendly, risk-averse, low-maintenance, high-impact, on-brand, offbeat, in style, but out of the ordinary, under 6 minutes, and you keep it clean. Other than that, go crazy. And they were very clear about that last rule. They told me you can't swear on TV. You have to keep it clean, because if you swear, then we have to bleep you, and that's a giant pain in the ass. See, this is why I brought my swear jar. Because this is stressful, and I found myself swearing so much in rehearsals, you know, that I was scared I'd slip up in front of you, and I didn't want to do that, so I kept a swear jar. A visual record of every curse and cuss that came out of my mouth while figuring out what the I was gonna do here today. Son of a...
Oh,
the point is, every time I swore this week, I put money in that jar. The worse the word, the bigger the bill. And then I realized something. I realized I was worrying for nothing. Because this could be the trick. So Penn, Teller, Alyson, the game is simple. You are gonna read my mind today by guessing how much money is in that jar, or to put it a different way, how much swearing it takes to be on Fool Us. So, Teller, we're gonna start with you, since you are literally the only one here now who has never sworn on camera. Would you give me a guess, please? How much do you think is in the jar if you had to take a swing?
He says $75.60.
Oh. Only 75 over the whole week? Can we round it to $1? There's no coins in there. Should we say 75 or 76? It's your decision.
76, says Teller.
76? Didn't realize I look like a Mormon. That's from Teller, good. Let's go to Alyson, please. Alyson, how much do you think is in the jar if you had to take a guess?
Is it like $1 for an just medium word?
Yeah, so each word gets worse as the bill gets higher, and I've been told I should stop saying them. So
okay.
I don't know that I can give examples.
All right, no problem. I will go for, I'm gonna go $88.
$88. See, everybody goes higher when I make that Mormon joke. And then finally, Penn, since I learned most of these words from watching you, you will give us the last guess, please, nice and loud.
247.
Wow.
247. I gotta tell you, it's starting to feel like these are more about your guys' week than they are mine, but that's fine. So here's the good news. Nobody got it right. Nobody got it exactly right. But, shockingly, one of you was very, very close. Believe it or not, Alyson, you were the closest.
Yes.
Not your number, but like physically, you were the closest to the jar, and I only get 3 more minutes. Would you join me on stage, please? Give her a round of applause. And Penn, you are going to hold on to the list, if you would. Thank you so, so much, Penn.
Thank you.
Now, Alyson, before we started any of this,
yes,
I made a prediction.
Oh.
A prediction about how I thought this game would go. And I left it right there at the top of the jar, right about there. Now, even though that prediction didn't come true, well, not exactly. I think you're still gonna find it interesting. Alyson, I don't want to touch it, but would you please take that piece of paper out of the jar and nice and loud read it to everyone here, because I think it still worked out.
Nobody will be even close.
Technically nailed it. But there's more. Please read the rest.
Open it.
Yeah.
But together, everyone will get it right.
And I know that sounds like a bad fortune cookie. But that's why I gave you the list, Penn. Could you open the calculator on your phone and start adding the guesses up?
Okay, sure.
Alyson, I did something else backstage as well. I counted up the jar. Every single bill in there. And I wrote the total on a little sticker inside the lid. Can you see that?
Yes.
Would you hold on to that, please? Because the thing I realized is predicting one of your numbers, that would have been easy. But predicting the total of all your numbers, Penn, nice and loud, tell us, what did they all add up to?
Well, I'll give you the information. It's 411.
Alyson, show them how much was in the jar. That was the real pain in the butt. And that is what it takes to be on Fool Us. Thank you very, very much.
Jason Suran! Is there anything else that makes you cuss as much as magic?
Not even close.
Do you use mentalism in your everyday life?
I do, but not in the way I think people think. I think people think that you walk around like a human lie detector or something like that. And for me, it's more about this thing that kind of makes people light up, because everybody likes getting to share things about themselves. We all want to feel connected to other people. And I think mentalism opens doors and it creates opportunities for connection.
Oh, all right. Have you always loved magic?
I didn't even begin considering, magic until I was in college, and just kind of was desperate for an artistic outlet that I wasn't being graded on every single day. And then there was this puzzle aspect to it. There was this tactile aspect to it. And for somebody like me, having something that I could kind of always be sort of practicing in the back of my head was really, really cathartic.
All right. Should we find out if your mental magic earned you a trophy?
Let's do it.
All right. Boys.
What a great routine.
Thank you.
Money.
It's really good. It's really a nice way to present. The problem with mentalism is that the number stuff just isn't interesting. And you made the number stuff represent something that made it really, really interesting. And you also played to something I care about. I mean, even though we do a show that a lot of families watch, they still seem to realize that I have been known to use obscenity and profanity, and often. As a matter of fact, there was a big competition a while ago for what magicians swore the most. And Al Karan, you probably know, was someone who swore a lot. And we had a competition where someone listened to us both for a long time. And it was really amazing, because at the end of the whole thing, I won the Al Karan medallion. I did. I won that because I actually swore more than he did. And I tell you, it's a great premise and a great, great idea. And I think we know how you did it. And if we're wrong, we're
So do they know how you did your trick?
Absolutely. Thank you very, very much for having me. Thank you.
It was great.
Jason Suran! Don't go anywhere. We have more fantastic magic for you when we come back.